Today, we have someone I am so beyond excited to be in the presence of. If you've been listening to my girl trip recaps, you know that I have fallen in love with one lady, and it gets more intense each episode. She's turned out to be the voice of reason in this cast. Her talking heads make me laugh on a daily basis. I just keep repeating them in my head. She's not only the star of Girls Trip, you've seen her in the past in Atlanta. She's also a mother, an attorney, a woman of faith, an author, an actress, and even a mortician. And she has the best wigs or units in the game, the one and only Phaedra Parks. How are you?
I am awesome. That was an introduction. I love it.
I could have kept going. I kept reading facts about you, and I was like, I have 20 minutes. There's no way I can get you have done everything, and now you're back on our screens, and it truly is something. How are you holding up? I guess is after dealing with all of these ladies. I was going to ask if you made it past the 7th episode, which is the season finale, but you're in front of me, so I know you did.
Yes, I made it. It was a great experience for me. But I survived 7 years prior to this. And let me tell you, the Atlanta franchise is way harder than the Ultimate Girls Trip. So if you can,
that's like training with weights on almost.
Like going to Nicaragua with automatic weapons. So this was a breeze for me. This was a walk in the park.
There wasn't any trepidation when you got approached to be on the show, because a lot of people have been asking for your return for so long. We finally got to see it. Was there any hesitation in saying yes?
Well, Andy and I have been friends for almost close to 2 decades. So I knew him prior to the Housewives. And so even after I made my exit from Atlanta, we stayed in touch, and he always said, hey, we're going to find the right fit for you. And so when he called me about this, he says, this is something you cannot turn down. This is going to be perfect. And then he said vacation. And in the midst of COVID, who wouldn't say yes to a vacation? Especially if they have young kids.
Well, that was great too, actually seeing that moment a couple episodes ago where you had to take a break to take a phone call from your child to actually take away some technology, which I thought was great. Like, you can be a housewife at Bluestone Manor, but you are always going to be a mother. I thought that was such a great moment.
Mm-hmm. And these kids and that technology, they are glued to the phones and the games more than anything. So that is like the best way to get their attention, is no technology.
But dealing with your kids and then dealing with the kids that are the housewives, you had Jill Zarin, Vicky, Tamara, all of these people. Was it just another group of kids that you're already used to dealing with because you raised 2 kids?
It's definitely different when you're dealing with women. And I think we talked about this, anyone that has been a housewife, there's a certain level of PTSD that you have after leaving the Housewives, because it is truly an experience that can be exhilarating, but at the same time, very harmful to your emotional well-being. And so I recognize that, because obviously I went through it. And so you always have to take people at face value, because you know that what you see on TV is not always accurate. And, I know from being a housewife that it is definitely more than a notion. It's serious. It's like intense boot camp.
Well, I don't know if you felt the love from all of the fans to have you back on screen, but sometimes that can even be dangerous, of not believing it, not buying into your own legend, because I feel like everybody's like, Phaedra, Phaedra, Phaedra. Was it really nice to have that kind of adulation again? Because you kind of are the star of this right now.
Well, it really felt good, because sometimes you doubt yourself when you've been on these shows, because for as many nice comments, you equally have the mean people controlling. And so, you have to be very well grounded to really survive. And you have to have some really thick skin, because people are mean, and, they get behind these screens and they turn into like the meanest people in the world, because, you can't put a face to them.
Yeah.
So I felt good that people were really happy to see me back, and all the sweet things that they were saying. But at the same time, you get people that's, they hate you. And I'm like, why put so much energy into a stranger?
It's a hobby now for some people. You took all the ladies to a winery in a couple episodes ago, and you opened up and you had read a Bible passage, which was really fitting. And you actually did the impossible, which was bring all the ladies together after we had seen 5 episodes of just pure insanity. And it was this really beautiful luncheon that started with that. I mean, obviously that plays a huge part in your daily life of your spiritual experience and being able to share that with other people. I just thought it was such a beautiful moment. And did you realize you had kind of brought everybody together in that moment?
Well, I'm actually writing a meditation book because that's what really saved my life. After just the tumultuous stint on Housewife and just going through so much in the public eye, you really have to be grounded in faith, and you really have to have a prayer life, whether you believe it's prayer, meditation, but you really have to have some sort of spiritual existence to even survive that, because it's very, very difficult. So I wanted to share with them what it really brought me through tough moments. And that's my most favorite prayer book. Mine will be my most favorite as well. That book really brought me through some very tough times.
It was great to see you, because it really did seem like you had this foundation which everybody kind of depended on. I mean, you also had like some of the most insanely funny moments. I still repeat since you've done it, the Yoni Egg talking head, where it was the best talking head I've ever experienced on a Housewives show. And you guys know, I've like the Yoni Egg, then you went to Target, you met a man, went on 3 dates. Unfortunately, he worshiped the devil. How did that even come out of your mouth? And that was the best thing I've ever heard.
Truth. It was so crazy. I mean, I thought the egg was really working in the right way. Wait. I'm like, that egg must have been rotten on the inside, because honey, it fell out big. But it brought a beautiful man, but he was definitely not the right one.
You need to donate that Yoni Egg to Andy's clubhouse. I think that is a legend now. I did read you're going to BravoCon in October. Are you excited about that experience of being able to be around the fans again?
You know what? I'm super excited, because I think the Bravo fans are diehard fans, and they love the series. They love the whole franchise of Housewives. And so I think it's going to be a great experience. And I really like to interact. And, I'm on sites that allow fan interaction, but to be able to touch someone, give them a hug, hopefully we're all vaccinated. And, everyone's well. Maybe, we don't want too many Vickies in the room, but
well, what I love though is your heart was open to everyone there and the experience. Coming out on the other side of that, have you kept? I know everybody asked you this. Have you kept in touch, or who have you kept in touch with? I mean, you had Taylor, Brandy, Eva. Like who do you still talk with?
Well, we have a group chat that we talk on constantly. That the threads are just they're crazy. But I talk to Dorinda every day. I talk to Brandy probably every other day. I talk to everybody. They call me for advice and to settle down, because we always have some madness going on in our group chat. Are
you like that with your group chat as well? Is that you're the kind of calming everything down in the group chat?
One, but people will pick up the phone and say, "Did you see what so and so said to me in the chat?" And so,
Well, what's the experience for the ladies having watched this back? I mean, are you watching the full episodes back? And are there things that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they left this whole thing out?
Well, you know what? They did a good job. Barry Bernstein was the editor, and she's a woman. She's a single mom, just a great person. We had really great producers, and they left a few things out, but overall they got the gist of it. And I think looking back, they did really a good job. And it's a few things that, but I think because all of us are vets, we know what happens in the editing room. So we understand television, we understand what makes good TV, and we understand that in order to be successful in any reality show, you got to know that you've got to take some licks, because that's just par for the course.
I like that you talk about Housewives, and other Housewives talk about it too, like a boxer, like being a boxer, of like training to almost be in this kind of situation, but also it trains you for life. You were already extremely successful before even Atlanta, but what did reality shows teach you that you're able to take into your daily life?
Well, it taught me that, the good thing it taught me, we'll go good then, you know, 'cause every rose has its thorn. Um, the beautiful thing about a platform like that is you do get the opportunity to influence so many people. And me being a Black woman from the South, um, I think I showed a lot of people that you really can, you know, be well educated, have fun, and you can, you know, shoot for the stars. You know, I went back to school pregnant and everything and got my mortician degree. They watched me juggle the funeral home, the law firm, being a mom. And I think that was very encouraging. But then at the same time, they watched me go through a very tumultuous public divorce. And I think I handled it in a way that I got lots of mail from women that said, wow, I couldn't have done that, but you gave me strength to know that it can be done. And you can, you know, you can make it out on the other side and really be whole. Because I think sometimes with women, unfortunately, we become so downtrodden, we can't make it out on the other side. And I think what I've learned is God will give you double for your trouble, honey. And he gave me triple for mine. So get into it.
You talk about you just started or a little bit ago, you've been acting actually, and that's where you had said you had learned about your beautiful units or your wigs, and I'm learning about them as well. Is the acting bug bitten you? Are we going to be seeing you do more acting?
Yes, actually, I'm headed to LA at the end of next month to to film a new movie. So I'm excited about that. And, you know, I like it because it's different. It's different from reality because when you're acting, everyone realizes that it's a role and the actors are very professional and they're no nonsense. They go in, you practice and hey, let's do it. You know, of course, in reality, even though, you know, your personality is personified for the camera, because people think that that's how you are 24 hours out the day, as in what they see on TV. They can't make the distinction between that was for television versus, you know, that's not how people really conduct themselves every day. You know?
If they ask you to do Girls Trip season 4, right back at Bluestone Manor with the entire, okay, that's what you didn't even let me finish. You were completely in. But see, that's what you brought the joy.
I would show up as a roving housewife on all of them, honey. Just let me pop up in the kitchen at every Ultimate Girls Trip because it's fun, but it's different people. And, you know, you can do anything for 8 days and enjoy it.
Well, I don't think Vicky could, but, you know, you definitely
I don't know about Vicky now.
You kind of, with Brandy, you kind of stood up. I don't want to have her be the underdog, but you and Eva especially kind of took to Brandy. And even when she would kind of go on her rants or something, you would really be understanding and try to kind of comfort or talk her through things. Why was Brandy special to you?
Brandy's special to me because I always love the underdog because I feel like a lot of times I've been the underdog, especially in the careers I've chosen. You know, they don't expect women, people of color. So I've always been that person in the room that people thought shouldn't be there. And so with Brandy, we really connected because she's got 2 boys. I've got 2 boys. She went through a whole public split up, you know, and so when we talk, I realized that she's just misunderstood. I mean, she gets to drinking and just says anything versus some people really have a bad spirit. She's innocent. She's pure. You know,
yeah, no, I mean, you actually made me reconsider my take on Brandy. I was like, oh, if Eva and Phaedra are like, I have to rethink how I approach Brandy. But it is interesting how none of these, the drinking never seems to be like, that seems to be sometimes the issue, yet nobody accepts that that's the issue. Yeah.
And I think everybody came in with these issues with Brandy. And so you can't fight everybody and you can't fight everybody alone. And so, you know, but the girls love to drink. Thank God.
Well, yeah, the Bluestone Manor whiskey. You said that the dark whiskey always causes trouble.
Ooh, is bad.
I know I only have a little bit of time with you, but I had a lot of people that were so excited that I talked to you. One girl said that you are her husband's hall pass. So that's exciting news for you. They also wanted to know, you had spoken about a gentleman that and I know you're very private with these things, which is great. Are you still dating the same gentleman?
You know what? I gave him the boot.
Okay, good. Well, that's great. That leads into my next question. Will you marry me? Will you marry? That's,
you know what? I'm not a person, I'm not J-Lo. I don't always have to be attached to a penis. I enjoy my life. I make good money. I just don't have to jump from one thing to the next. I mean, I'm happy with myself and I like being with myself. I don't, I'm like I tell you, honey, I'm the cupcake, honey. Now you get a good man, he might be the sprinkles, but I'm good all by myself. So I mean, I would love a great guy, but I won't settle for anything. I just won't. I mean, I'm at a point in my life. I've built a fabulous life for me and my kids, and I just refuse to let anyone come in and disturb our peace, And so
you are so centered. It is, I mean, you truly are inspirational. This is like, wait, when is your book coming out? Like, I know you're probably still finishing it, but
well, the editor is on me now to send the last 5 little things I need to do. So yeah, it will definitely be before BravoCon because I want to be able to bring it there.
Oh, that would be amazing, actually. Did you talk to Tamara since her return to OC, and were you excited for her?
Well, I talked to Tamara. We had a very long discussion over the weekend and Sunday. And I love Tamara. I mean, this is what I think was great about this Ex-Wives Club. It was very redemptive for a lot of us because a lot of people left with bad taste in their mouth for the franchises and for what happened to them, whether they were fired, put on pause, whatever you want to call it. They had, some bad vibes about it. And so this was redemptive in that it gave people the opportunity to speak their mind, to live in their truth, whatever it may be, and for the fans to see them again. And, hopefully that opens up doors and opportunities for people. And, I'm happy for everyone. And it was just good to see that, Bravo is open to these shows that people to see us again and have fun and catch up with what we're doing.
I mean, the funniest moment for you in this experience, even watching it back, do you have one moment that you still laugh about that you were a part of?
Unfortunately, the Dorinda being Brandy's mama. Whoa, I didn't know.
No, it is funny to watch your facial reactions in any scene because you kind of are the reliable narrator. And that's what I love is that I will then go back and rewatch the episodes, kind of looking at you watching something, and how you process information is great because you take your time and then you really say something that's either really meaningful or really, really funny that kind of cuts any tension. So I thought
lesbian eyebrows, that was the second one.
We still haven't figured out what lesbian eyebrows look like, actually. It's really up for discussion. And Brandy really won't tell us what that means. She just says she knows it when she sees it. As we wind down here, we saw you on Real Housewives of Dubai. Is that something that you would actually pop back up for more of? Because it was another thing that we were like, dude, she's... all of a sudden, I just really kind of feel this wave of like, you are just really, really great. And where you're at in your life right now, it just seems so centered where you come in and it kind of just balances things out and puts a real big smile on all of our faces.
Oh, that is such a compliment. Thank you. But I love Dubai. I love the culture. And it's very different from the States, but it's very opulent. But at the same time, they're really grounded in their religious beliefs. And so I can appreciate the very conservative nature of the country. And so I enjoyed myself over there. My kids love it. And so we definitely look forward to buying our new property over there and returning for next season.
Wow. That's truly amazing news. And finally, I don't think you could have ever predicted what reality shows would bring you, or even your careers and multiple careers. And now you're into acting. Is there one thing that you're like, I dare to dream? Like sometimes people will be like, I can't believe this is my life. And I look at your life and all the stuff you've done. I can't imagine that you imagined any of this, but are you just the biggest dreamer ever? And what would be the ultimate dream for you?
You know what? I don't know if I have any ultimate dreams, but I just live knowing there's nothing too hard for God and that I can have anything. And so, every time someone says, no, that can't happen, I believe that it can. And so anything that I put my mind to, I usually do it very successfully. So it's not like I have a dream about something right now because I've went to every college in the world, I do believe. So I don't need any more education. I have thought about becoming a doctor. I know that sounds.
See, that's what I'm saying. You're like this going. Like I feel like you're going to be
a holistic doctor. I heard that it would take me about 3 years to get that degree. But
you're going to be an astronaut or something. You're going to be an astronaut. You're going to go to the moon. You're going to probably run for some kind of government office again. I mean, I really think the sky's the limit. And I got to tell you, I know is that my mom, she talks about her faith in God a lot and stuff, and she's sick right now. And I really, it's meant a lot to see you on this show. And it really has brought such a smile to my face and to a lot of the listeners and of my pod. Your number one was you to be able to speak to. So it is just a true honor to be able to speak to you today.
Well, God is still healing. He's still delivering, and he's working miracles. And so I'll be praying for a miracle, because a miracle is a quick work. Healing takes a process, but we'll be praying for your mom to have a miracle, a whole complete restoration.
Oh, and pray for my dad to not have a mangina.
Oh, okay. We don't any manginas.
Ladies and gentlemen, the living legend, the one and only Phaedra Parks.